Namaste friends, welcome to my channel. This is your Govindraj. Thank you for all your views, subscriptions and also comments and likes. And in this video, let me give you a quick update on the wages for lockdown period. On 12th June 2020, the Apex Court, which is Supreme Court of India, has given an interim order. Let's quickly understand this order. And before I give you the order details, let's also check what all have gone through so far, what are the events which are happened, and also why the employers have gone to the court. And if you don't understand this, and we will not completely understand the issue and also the orders which are given on 12th June 2020. Let me give you quickly the events chronology. What are all the events so far happened because of the pandemic COVID-19? Some of the states have started the lockdown from the mid of March 2020, and the Secretary of Ministry of Labour and Employed, it issued a letter on 20th March 2020 to all the chief secretaries of the states to issue an advisory to the employers and owners of the private establishment to pay wages for the lockdown period without any deduction, and also not to resort to termination and other actions. See, accordingly, many states issued advisory, and some of the states have also invoked Disaster Management Act 2005 and also Epidemic Disease Act 1897, and they made it mandatory also. The central government imposed a nationwide lockdown effective from 25th March 2020, and much earlier some of the state had already declared lockdown because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The MHA issued an order dated 29th March 2020, which is very important for this subject, to take certain measures, especially in the case of migrant workmen. The preamble talked about the migrant workmen. However, the order, when it further proceeds, it is applicable to everyone. This order also stated every industry or shop or establishment should pay the wages for the lockdown period without any deduction. And the central government started relaxing the lockdown for industries effective from 3rd May 2020, and more relaxation happened effectively from 18/5/2020. So we have seen the chronology of events. Even though the central government and some of the state governments have stated have released the orders invoking the provisions of DMA and Epidemic Disease Act 1897, we will have to understand what are the legal provisions invoked in this regard. The legal provisions which invoked are the letter dated 20th March 2020, which is released by the Labour Secretary. It is an advisory letter, and the order dated 29th invoked DME Act and especially issued under section 10(2)(L) of the Act. If you read the order of the Supreme Court, section 2(1), it gives you an impression, but the section is section 2L. So the section 2L of DME Act talks about powers and functions of National Executive Committee. The National Executive Committee derives this power under this section to give directions to prepare and respond to any disaster as per section 10(2)(L) of the Act. The National Executive Committee may lay down guidelines for or give directions to the concerned ministries or departments of the Government of India, the state governments and the state authorities regarding measures to be taken by them in response to any threatening disaster situation or disaster. Some of the state governments and state executive committee issued similar orders for their states. Now, because of this, what is the employer's plight or employer's difficulties? The employer's difficulties are, naturally the employers got affected because they are made to pay even though there is no work and revenue for the employers. And some of the associations and employers approached the Apex Court, which is the Supreme Court, for the remedy, and they prayed that to quash the order dated 29th March 2020 and also the advisory dated 20th March 2020. Around 19 writ petitions filed before the Apex Court. The central government advisory dated 20th March 2020, all consequential orders and also the state orders, especially Maharashtra, Haryana and other places, they were challenged before the Supreme Court. Now, the employers' prayers included pay 70 to 80% of wages from the ESIC fund or other government fund, and they also sought permission to pay only 50% of basic and DA subject to the finality of the case. And also some of the included waive of the statutory contributions And the employers councils argued that the orders are violative of Article 14 and 19(1)(g) of the Constitution. So we also have to check what are the provisions under Article 14 and 19(1)(g) of the Constitution. As per Article 14, the state shall not deny to any person equality before the law or the equal protection of the laws within the territory of India. So in this case, employers argued that the law is discriminated in the case of employers. And Article 19, if you look at it, provides certain 6 fundamental freedoms, and one of which is freedom of profession, occupation, trade or business, especially the Article 19(1)(g). However, this right is subject to certain reasonable restrictions. So the Employers Council argued that, and the order dated 29th of March 2020 is also violative of Article 19(1)(g). They also argued that the orders are violative of Article 300A. This 300A talks about right to property. And the arguments put forth are also, they are contrary to the principle of no work, no pay and equal work for equal pay. If you look at the entire lockdown period, there was no work, and it is not fault of the employers and it is also not part of the employees. So for this reason, employers should not be made to pay for no work. And the liability to pay compensation in the case of national disaster is with the government and it cannot be shifted to the employers. That is the arguments put forth before the Supreme Court by the Employers Council. And some of the councils also argued that the order is only for migrant workers, which is also by the look of the order, it is also looks like that. Now let's look into what is the central government came with the arguments. The central government did not file a para-wise reply in their counter affidavit, and they reserve their right to file para-wise reply if it is required, and also they sought the permission of the Apex Court. And the government accepted that the directions wide letter dated 20th March 2020 as an advisory. But however, 29th March 2020 order issued under DMA Act is accepted that with full force and directing all the employers to make payments of wages of their workers at their workplace without any deduction for the period for which their establishment are under closure during the lockdown. So it argued that it is applicable to every kind of employers and with full power under Section 2L of DMA Act. It supported its order as a temporary measure to manage the situation, and also its authority to issue such order. So it argued that it has got the right authority under DMA Act to issue such an order. And it also argued that by virtue of Section 72 of the Disaster Management Act 2005, all other enactments are overridden. Because if you look at Section 72 of DMA Act, it overrides every other legislations including Industrial Dispute Act 1947. So during this period, all other acts are ceased to have any effect. So it also took this argument before the Honorable Apex Court. Now let's look into what is the interim order of the Apex Court dated 12/6/2020. The Apex Court heard the arguments of both the parties and there are also interveners, and it understood the fact and also provided an opportunity to the central government to file a detailed counter affidavit within 4 weeks of time. And the interim order which has given no coercive action or no forceful action on the employer, that will continue. So the order is confirmed. It also acknowledged the adverse effect on both the employees and employers. The beauty of this interim order is the Apex Court exactly understood the adverse effect on both the employees and the employers. It also acknowledged that balancing act is required between the claims of employees and employers, because both the parties are put to struggle and difficulties, and therefore there is a balancing act is required. Now the Apex Court directed the following interim measures which can be availed by all private establishments. So this order is not only applicable to the petitioners and the respondents which are in this 19 writ petitions. The interim measures can be availed by all private establishment irrespective of whether he is a petitioner or respondent. Now let's look into what are the interim measures. The interim measures is, number one is, employers who are willing to initiate the process of negotiation, they can do so and enter into a settlement. If they are unable to settle, they can approach the conciliation authorities for mediation and conciliation, and if the settlement arrived either through negotiation or conciliation, it can be acted upon irrespective of the order dated 29th March 2020. If there are disputes related to companies who are allowed to open during this period, can also avail of the above opportunity, because some of the essential activities industries were allowed to open, and some employees were reported and some employees were not reported. So the companies who were opened, they have denied the wages for people who have not reported also. So there are disputes in this case also. These companies can avail this negotiation and settlement opportunity. And employers are required to permit the employees to resume their work if they are willing to work. Some of the employees have reported to work and some employees have not reported to work because of the pandemic nature of the COVID-19. Now, if employees are willing to resume to work, then the employers are required to permit them to work. And another important measure which needs to be understood in this order is, if the settlement, if any, as indicated above, shall be without prejudice to the rights of employers and employees, which is pending adjudication in these writ petitions, because this is very important. And what is this without prejudice to the rights of employers and employees? If you look at the meaning of this, when the order is issued without prejudice, it signifies that none of the rights or privileges of the individual involved are considered to be lost or waived. Suppose the settlement is arrived and they have come to conclusion. However, with reference to rights of employers and employees in this episode are subject to the final decision of the adjudication. So therefore, this is very important to understand. And the government is required to publicize this order of the apex court for benefit of all employees and employers. The responsibility is cast on the government to communicate to everyone about this order, so that the employers and employees can utilize this opportunity. And any settlement arrived, the details to be filed during the next hearing. So which is the hearing is posted for last week of July 2020. This is the quick update, friends. Thank you very much for watching my video, and keep watching this channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe, like and comment. My coordinates are provided in this video. You can, if you have any clarification, you are free to reach me. Thank you very much and see you soon, friends.